This is a food web of the Nariva Swamp. Here we have the primary producers, the mangrove or the algae, and the primary consumers are the porcupine, the West Indian manatee, the white-fronted capuchin, the red howler monkey, the fiddler crab, the insects, and the blue and yellow macaw. The secondary consumers are the herons, the egrets, and that's just about it. The tertiary consumers are the anaconda and the caiman. Here, the anaconda and the caiman are the top animals in the food chain, in the food web. If the mangrove were to be eradicated from the food web, the porcupines, the West Indian manatee, the fiddler crab, the white-fronted capuchin, the insects, and the blue and yellow macaw will have no source of food, therefore they will die, and the caiman, the caiman will be forced to, an anaconda will be forced to search for other sources of food, and therefore that will lead to a disrupt in the ecosystem. Human activities such as overexploitation will result in the removal of the producers, which will lead to food being scarce and the overthrow of the food web. So here we have, say we're focusing on two species, which are the fiddler crab and the West Indian manatee. The fiddler crabs are found along sea beaches and brackish intertidal mud flats, lagoons and swamps. They are well known for their sexually dimorphic claws. The male's major claw is much larger than the minor claw, while the female's claws are both the same size. The crab's smaller claw picks up a chunk of sediment from the ground and brings it to the mouth, where its contents are sifted through, making the crab a detritivore. After anything edible is salvaged, be it algae, microbes, fungus, or any decaying detritus, the sediment is replaced in the form of a ball. They live rather brief lives of no more than 2 years. They are invertebrates and they are cold-blooded animals. The West Indian manatee. They are large creatures with fusiform-shaped bodies and a flattened and rounded tail. They are found in shallow coastal areas, slow-moving rivers and canals, and saltwater bays. They are distributed throughout the Caribbean and are also found in southeastern United States. They exhibit tolerance of freshwater, saline, and brackish water. The diet of the manatee is mainly herbivorous, as they prefer seagrasses, mangrove leaves, and algae. However, they may inadvertently feed on small water insects, crustaceans, and fishes in the wild. They are warm-blooded and they are vertebrates. As you can see, the energy, if one animal, this food web is very complex, as it's one animal is being being fed on multiple animals. So if one animal is cut off from the food web, there one the the other animal which feeds on that animal will be out of source of food and will be forced to go feed on other sources of food, which will throw off the balance of the food web. This Nariva swamp covers 15 square kilometers behind the coconut estates along the coast along the south coast of Manzanilla. The area is made up of agricultural land where rice and watermelons are the main crops, as well as reef-fringed marshes, and between the Manzanilla-Mayara Road and the swamp itself with mangrove thickets. There are five principal wetland vegetation types in the Nariva Swamp: the herbaceous swamp, the palm swamp, the swamp forest, terrestrial forest, and mangrove. Mangroves occupy the eastern margins of the basin where salt water enters, and three species of mangroves are present, which are the red, black, and white mangroves. The herbaceous swamp is the predominant vegetation type in the main basin of the swamp, which is permanently flooded. This consists of floating and rooted grasses, sedges, and herbaceous plants that provide habitat and food for fauna, including waterfowl. The palm swamp consists primarily of royal palmist or Moorish palms. The royal palmist slash palmist or and Moorish palms and rosso provide habitats for the macaws and parrots, including blue and yellow macaw that was recently reintroduced in the area, having been locally extinct. Important bird, over 594 animal species have been identified in the Nariva Swamp. 179 bird species, including 25 species of waterfowl, 45 species of mammals, including the manatee and monkeys, 32 species of bats, 3 porcupine and the anteater have been identified, as well as 92 species of mosquitoes. Important birds include the blue heron, great egret, snowy egret, green-black heron, and some highly endangered birds, such as the blue and yellow macaw. Amongst the mammals are the red howler monkey, white-fronted capuchin, and the West Indian manatee, which are globally threatened. Countless species of fish have been recorded, and reptiles include the caiman and mati. The site also hosts the anaconda and furtherland snakes. So, if one animal is if the top predators are out of the food web, that will lead to imbalance of the food web, in that the white-fronted capuchin, red howler monkey, and heron and egret and porcupine and blue-yellow macaw population is out of balance. The anacondas and caimans act as biological control agents for these animals, and if left unchecked, whereas the anacondas and caimans are supposedly out of the food web, these animals will be free to graze on more mangrove and algae, which will lead to overexploitation of the producers.